Oh, my sanity's doing pretty good. Would you look at that?
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
And yet, they found something terrible, didn't they? Nothing in there. Tinderbox. And nothing in there. I heard you.
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Well, that's not good. Oh, look, an urn. Oh. I thought that was supposed to, like, explode when you pick it up or something. Maybe it was another one that did that. Books don't fall off shelves by themselves. Oh, I'm out of oil. Well, that's fine. 'Cause I got plenty. You know, it's a good thing that items you can pick up glow, like even in the dark, because that makes finding stuff pretty darn easy. And our sanity is pretty bad now. You know, oh! Okay, I broke it. No, I don't want to go in there just yet. Oh yeah, this is where I came in. And I came out of there, and in here, and... Okay, I guess I do want to go in here now, then. You just closed on your own. More oil? I think there's another note in here.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
At least I thought there was a note in here somewhere. I might be thinking of something else. Well, our way back just caved in. Oh, here's the note I was thinking of.
May 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Interesting. Wow, I thought my sanity was like completely gone. You might have noticed this a little bit ago. Yeah, that wall's fragile, so let's throw a rock at it. I love how throwing that tiny little rock just knocks open a giant hole in the wall.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that works for braking. Another region rich with lore is Altstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor called Brennenburg. The quiet, forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tables, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30-Year War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies rot by fear. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move slightly through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks, dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Well, that's a lot of reading. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited... I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciations of half these names, by the way. Visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Altstadt, and like most those of noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. So yeah, what we need to do here is we need to pull books. 3 of them, I think. There we go. You have to pull all of them within a limited amount of time. Ah, there's our wine cellar key. I'm pretty sure there's not actually anything out there. Pretty sure. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would in a sense solve both of my problems. Yeah, that's open now. Alright, now. Hi! I saw you over there. Oh boy. Hey Marco, I don't know if you're watching this video, but I remember, like, when I was co-commentating with you on this game, I tricked you into coming over here. Turn around. It's the monster! Oh no, it's not. Oh man, I got you good with that one. I sounded so annoying in that video, though. Like, I cringe when I listen to myself, like, laughing and talking in that video, because, wow, I sounded so bad in my old microphone. Shut up, you. Yeah, honestly, there are no monsters in here. Well, okay, there technically is, but what I mean is they can't actually kill you. Like, there's only 2 monster sightings, and you saw both of them, and neither one of them can actually harm you. Oh! Whoa! I forgot about that. Yeah, the fleshy stuff is definitely following us, and oh yeah, we can't go down there. If you stand on that stuff for too long, you get hurt. For some reason. Okay. Time for us to enter the wine cellar, at last.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
So our objective in this area is to find the 4 chemicals that we need in order to make something. Oh, ... Yeah, that basically means that we've lost it. Hello. That's another harmless monster encounter. Also, wow, I don't remember this happening. I said that, I said that low sanity doesn't really have that much of a negative effect, but it's like... Oh, well, it recovered now, but while it was in critical, it was like, it was kind of delaying my look. It was like delaying the mouse movement. That was... I don't really remember it doing that, but... Huh. I guess it does. Anyway, that thing we picked up is a laudanum, whatever. It heals you. Go ahead and put oil into the lamp. No reason not to. I mean the lantern, not the lamp. Where are those chemicals? I'm definitely finding enough of these things. Ah, there's one. Got the orpiment. Oh, hello. Hey, you open back up. Don't close on me. Cave in! Yup. That ended up with us becoming a little bit injured. But hey, we got a new chemical, so worth it, I guess. Oh, yeah. I forgot about those oil barrels. They fill your lantern up, but they can only be used like once. Go. I have to pull this stuff away in order to... Yeah. In order to get the door unblocked. There we go. Now the last chemical... Okay, something bad happened in here. Something real bad happened in here.
What's happening? Oh, feels like my chest is going to burst. Oh.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Accept it. We're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Yeah, those guys, they kind of exploded. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garich. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the Castle Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed Knight of the Order could want from me and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of them whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... And they popped. Seriously, though, that is a horrible, horrible way to die. Wait a minute. Isn't there a chemical in here? There has to be. Oh, right. Okay, we have all 4 chemicals now, so time to head back to the laboratory.